I intend to take all these special mentions, and they are 15 in number. This is on the request of the honorable members, and we must offer them as much platform as we can. Shri Naresh Bansal.
धन्यवाद सभापति जी. Need for mass awareness regarding water conservation and legislation for efficient use of water by industries. सिंचाई कार्यों के लिए स्प्रिंकल, ड्रिप सिंचाई जैसी स्कीमों को ज़्यादा बढ़ावा देने की ज़रूरत है. इसके साथ साथ वर्षा जल का समुचित संग्रह किया जाना भी आवश्यक है, जो बदल रही जलवायु परिवर्तन के लिए अत्यंत ही महत्वपूर्ण है.
प्लीज हाउस.
लेकिन सबसे पहले जल प्रबंधन एवं जल संरक्षण की दिशा में जल जागरूकता को बढ़ावा दिया जाना चाहिए. इसे जन जन की मुहिम बनाने की आवश्यकता है. स्कूली पाठ्यक्रमों में न केवल इसे अनिवार्य करने की जरूरत है, बल्कि विद्यार्थियों के साथ इसे प्रैक्टिकल के रूप में भी करने की जरूरत है, ताकि वह इसकी महत्ता को समझ सकें. शायद नई पीढ़ी में जागरूकता ही जल के संकट को दूर करने में कारगर साबित हो सकती है. वहीं औद्योगिक विकास की आड़ में जल के अंधाधुंध दोहन को रोकने के लिए भी कड़े पारदर्शी कानून बनाए जाएं. सरकार कृपया आवश्यक कदम उठाए. मैं आपके माध्यम से निवेदन करता हूं.
थैंक यू माननीय बंसल जी. सिर्फ जो स्क्रिप्ट है वही पढ़ें. ऑनरेबल श्री जीवीएल नरसिंह राव, प्लीज kindly read the approved text.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. My approved special mention is about the need for assistance
if somebody wants to
RINL.
lay, he can lay, provided Jairam ji agrees.
The need for assistance to RINL for better functioning of Visakhapatnam steel plant. Sir, due to the non-availability of working capital, high raw material cost, and adverse market conditions, the capacity utilization of Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, RINL, has been lower this year, which adversely impacted the financials of the company. Banks have not been extending loans to RINL due to low credit rating of RINL. Further, rate of interest charged to RINL by banks is significantly higher than market lending rates. At present, only 2 of the 3 blast furnaces are operational, and funds are required for arranging the oxygen supply to operationalize the 3rd furnace and to increase its production substantially. Sir, the employee morale is also low at this time, as the wage revision for workers in RINL has not been done since 2017, although an MOU was signed between the management and employee unions on 6th April 2022. The promotion of executives has been held up, though its financial impact on the company is very limited. To help RINL improve its financials and to ensure effective functioning of RINL, it has to have working capital available. This can be arranged internally by divesting some non-core assets like the forged wheel plant at Raebareli and 22-acre land plot in Visakhapatnam city. Sir, this will provide the immediate liquidity for the RINL to increase RINL's production. But a stronger impetus or infusion of funds is required to ensure that the RINL becomes fully operational and profitable. RINL is the largest industrial unit in Andhra Pradesh, and its performance is vital for the state's economy.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Sri P. Wilson. Honorable Sri P. Wilson.
Deputy Chairman,
please, nothing to do. Please.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. I am raising an important issue relating to reviving of Sethu Samudram Shipping Canal project. Sir, the Sethu Samudram Shipping Canal project is a 150 years dream of the Tamils, including Perarinyar Anna. The project proposes to make a sea interface between Pak Bay and Gulf of Mannar so that ships do not need to go around Sri Lanka and will facilitate movement of ships like Panama and Suez canals and boost economic growth. It will also help fishermen travel from Gulf of Mannar to Park Strait, prevent transshipment of Indian goods at ports in Sri Lanka, besides cutting short sailing of an additional distance of 254 to 424 nautical miles and save about 21 to 36 hours of sailing time, besides fuel and cost, provides jobs to more than 10 lakhs people. Particularly now, when Sri Lankan ports are coming under the influence of China, time is right to prevent transshipment of Indian goods through these ports. The project will also help both coastal and international maritime trade in Tamil Nadu and coastal states. Another benefit is that the canal will enhance national defense and security by enabling easier access between the coast for the western and eastern fleets. Tamil Nadu State Assembly, on the motion moved by the Honorable Chief Minister Mr. M.K. Stalin, unanimously adopted a resolution to implement the project without any further delay. I therefore request the Honorable Prime Minister to take all efforts to revive the Sedu Samudram project to ensure India's national security and boost economic growth. Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Shri Avir Ranjan Vishwas, not present, absent. Honorable Shri Sandosh Kumar P.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. The human-animal conflict has become a serious concern in Kerala. Almost every day, the death of people due to tiger, elephant or wild pig attacks were reported from the three most affected districts in Kerala, namely Wayanad, Idukki and Palghat. The farmers in these districts often witness the entry of animals into their farms, which has made their life and livelihood under threat. The wildlife population in Kerala's forests has exploded in recent years, and there is no space left for them despite the increase in forest cover. According to the official data, Kerala had 190 tigers, of which 80 are in the Wayanad sanctuary. 144 compensation cases were filed for human casualties due to animal attacks in 2021-22. Wild pigs, elephants and tigers have killed people and regularly trespass on farmers' properties and rob them of their produce. The farmers have been demanding that the government should allow them to cull wild animals, but the Wildlife Protection Act denies humans the right to defend themselves from animal attacks. Under WLPA, people are not free to defend themselves against raiding animals and driving them out of their homes, and the agriculture field needs official permission. While admirable in their intent, these strict legal provisions make it very difficult for local people to deal with life-threatening situations of human-animal conflict. Therefore, there is an urgent need to implement the most pragmatic policy that can effectively address the sentiments of the people in these districts.
Thank you. Honorable Shri Sant Balveer Singh Ji, absent. Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal, absent. Shri Ilamaram Kareem, absent. Srimati J.B. Mathir Hisam.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairman, for the opportunity. My approved special mention is on the subject, need to revamp football training facilities in the country. The involvement of Indians in the meticulous management of various sectors connected with the organization of FIFA World Cup 2022 has won us accolades. While this is a moment of pride for us, we also need to address the grim reality that the international football arena is still a distant dream for us. A major impediment in the progress of Indian football is the lack of football-specific stadiums. In my home state, Kerala, craze and passion for football is immeasurable. More than 5 lakh children actively participate in football training programs in Kerala. These kids are training in mud football pitches without any proper training facilities. I request government to set up training facilities in all districts with the support of state governments and private partnerships. Catch them while young should be the motto in training. Identifying talented kids and providing them international exposure by sending them abroad for a 5 to 10 years exclusive coaching in reputed football academies will be a sure success formula in crafting the future footballers. The FIFA president commented recently that they are interested to invest heavily to develop football in India. In this context, I request government to discuss this matter with the AIFF and AFC officials and prepare a detailed roadmap to develop the game in the country. A football academy with state-of-the-art training facilities should be given emphasis in the discussions. We should leave no stone unturned in ensuring our participation in the 2026 World Cup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
माननीय श्री सुजीत कुमार जी, माननीय सुजीत कुमार जी एब्सेंट. Honorable Trichu Siva.
Thank you, Chairman, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, the subject of my special mention is concern over time-consuming and prolonged organ donation procedures in India. Sir, organ donation in India is regulated by the 1994 Transplantation of Human Organs and Tissues Act. The Act aims to control the storage and transplantation of organs and prevents any commercial dealings. At the same time, the National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization facilitates the procurement, allotment, and distribution of organs within India. However, despite such legislations, there is a disparity between this colossal demand and low supply. About 5 lakh people in India die every year from causes that could have been prevented by organ transplants. Organ donation rates in India stand at 0.86 per million population, a minuscule figure in comparison to countries like Spain, which stands at 46.9 per million population. If India's donation rates were to be improved to at least 1 donation per million deaths, it would satisfy the country's organ requirement. Despite the convenient donor registration process, wherein any person willing to donate his or her organs can do so by filling out the donor consent form, organ donation is associated with numerous difficulties, namely lack of awareness and the spiritual belief of life after death. I urge the Government of India to come together with NGOs, CSOs, and non-state stakeholders to not only spread awareness and dispel myths and apprehensions in the minds of the people regarding organ donation, but also to simplify the rules for cadaver organ donations and transplantations to save precious lives through timely intervention. Thank you very much.
माननीय श्री दिनेश चंद्र जेमल भाई अनावाडिया.
धन्यवाद माननीय सभापति महोदय जी. मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी का. उन्होंने उड़े देश का आम नागरिक उड़ान योजना शुरू की है. उससे देश में आम आदमी को विमानी सेवा का लाभ मिला है. गुजरात में मेरा गृह जिला बनासकांठा के डीसा एयरपोर्ट बंद हालत में पड़ा है. मेरा जिला राजस्थान की बॉर्डर और पाकिस्तान के इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर से जुड़ा हुआ जिला है. उत्तरी गुजरात के बनासकांठा, पाटण, अरावली, साबरकांठा, महसाणा और दक्षिणी राजस्थान के सिरोही, झालोर, बाड़मेर, पाली जिलों में विमान की सेवा उपलब्ध नहीं है. मेरे बनासकांठा जिले में 52 शक्तिपीठों में से एक बड़ा शक्तिपीठ अंबाजी माताजी का मंदिर है, जहां बहुत सारे लाखों दर्शनार्थी माताजी के दर्शन के लिए आते हैं. उन्हें विमानी सेवा उपलब्ध करवाने हेतु और यहाँ के व्यापारी हीरा उद्योग, कपड़ा उद्योग और मेटल उद्योग से जुड़े हुए हैं और भारत भर में फैले हुए हैं. उनको विमानी सेवा उपलब्ध करवाने हेतु यह एयरपोर्ट चालू करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. आज़ादी के बाद अंबिका एयरलाइंस की विमानी सेवा यहाँ चालू थी, जो मुंबई, डीसा, जोधपुर की हवाई सेवा देती थी। करीब 1985 से 90 के बीच वायुदूत एयरलाइंस ने भी यह एयरपोर्ट चालू करने की कोशिश की थी और ओपनिंग करने के बाद कार्यरत नहीं हो पाया था। इस एयरपोर्ट से पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर नज़दीक है, सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से भी यह एयरपोर्ट चालू करना जरूरी है। इस एयरपोर्ट का रनवे तैयार है, बाउंड्री वॉल भी तैयार है और पुरानी बिल्डिंग भी है। मैं सदन के माध्यम से सरकार से अनुरोध करता हूं कि डीसा का एयरपोर्ट चालू करके उत्तरी गुजरात और दक्षिणी राजस्थान के आम आदमी को विमानी सेवा उपलब्ध करवाए। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद। ऑनरेबल श्री महाराजा संजा ओबा लिशंबा।
Thank you, Deputy Chairman Sir, for giving me this opportunity. The subject of my special mention is demand to allow writing both in Bengali and the Meitei script in UPSC or IS exam Manipuri literature optional paper. Sir, in UPSC or IS exam, there are two optional papers, 1 and 2 in Manipuri literature, with a total mark of 500, 250 plus 250. At present, only the Bengali script is allowed to write the paper of Manipuri literature. As a matter of state policy, the government of Manipur has introduced Meitei script for writing Manipuri language since 2006 in place of Bengali script in phase-wise manner. Colleges and universities in Manipur have started producing BA and MA written in Meitei script for Manipuri language. Now the problem is that those students who pass BA and MA written in Meitei script in Manipuri subject are not getting the chance of appearing UPSC and IS exam, IS main exams for Manipuri optional paper, as they did not learn Bengali script. Hence, they are being deprived of appearing from UPSC main exams Manipuri optional paper. The students are demanding to allow them to appear UPSC or IS Manipuri paper in Meitei script. The issue has become a serious problem of the state, as their demand is genuine and quite logical. To solve this burning issue, I request the Government of India through this House to allow writing both in Bengali and Meitei script in UPSC or IS Manipuri literature optional paper by amending the UPSC main exam Manipuri literature papers instruction, as answer must be written in Manipuri, Bengali, within bracket Bengali or Meitei script. Instead of the present instruction, answer must be written in Manipuri, within bracket Bengali script. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Fauzia Khan ji, absent. Dr. V. Siudasan.
Sir, thank you, sir, for this opportunity. Here, my subject of the special mention is burning issues faced by ASHA workers in our country. Sir, the accredited social health activists in the country are doing remarkable works in rural India. There are 10.4 lakh ASHA workers in our nation. The World Health Organization has appreciated them as health leaders, global health leaders. This was a proud moment for the whole nation, but their allowance and incentives are very minimal. Even these minimal allowances are not disbursed on time. They are assisting the poor and needy people in their most difficult times by giving health care. But, sir, the ASHA workers are not getting any assistance from the union government to care for their own health. Sir, every day they are spending long hours for the health care of the persons in their locality. But even a minimal insurance package is not arranged for them. They are not given even minimum wages. The majority of the ASHA workers have started their job many years back, but they are considered as volunteers. The government is telling they have no right to receive the salary as employees because they are the social security volunteers. Government is not treating it as a job. The union government should provide the social security to the social security workers. They should be given job security and health facilities. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Sri A. Rahim.
Deputy Chairman, sir, thank you for this opportunity. My subject is menstrual and maternity leave in higher education. The Higher Education Department of Kerala government released an order granting menstrual and maternity leave in higher education institutions. Menstrual leave will be through a 2% relaxation in attendance and maternity leave of 60 days is ordered. This landmark decision will have a great positive impact for young women students. It's a step in the direction towards enabling a more equal space for education for women. It's also an important step which will enable conversation about menstruation. It's a completely natural biological process which is stigmatized in our societies. Women have been treated as impure and polluting. This kind of thinking is unbecoming of a modern democratic society. This is also a reason for the lower rates of access to education for young women. A policy of menstrual leave will have far-reaching impact in transforming attitudes towards educating girl children as well. This policy must be implemented across the country in higher educational institutions. The central ministry should take this up and bring about a policy and implement it across central institutions and encourage other states where such a policy does not exist. Further, it is high time that the issue of menstrual leave in all sectors is also brought for discussion. For this, the government must carry out studies to understand the difficulties faced by working women in various sectors with regards to menstruation and what methods would be best to lessen their difficulties. I hope the government takes this issue seriously and takes the necessary steps. Thank you, sir.
Sri Ravangwara Narjari.
Thank you, sir. My subject is demand for upgradation of AIR Kokrajhar at par with AIR Guwahati and establishment of a branch of news unit for broadcast of news in the Bodo language under regional news unit AIR Guwahati. All India Radio Kokrajhar commissioned on 15 August 1999 with Bodo as the link language is the only program originating station of Lower Assam situated at Kokrajhar, capital of the Bodoland territorial region. Since then, this station has been continuing to produce and broadcast programs in various formats in Bodo, Assamese, and other dialects. The main purpose for establishment of this station was to bring upliftment of the vibrant culture of the Bodos and other communities and impart educative and informative knowledge to the people inhabited in its jurisdiction. Bodo is one of the 22 languages included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution, an associate official language of Assam, and widely spoken language, particularly in the Bodoland territorial region. So giving due respect and importance to the Bodo language and progress of cultures and literatures of all sections of the communities within its jurisdiction, it is quite desirable to upgrade the AIR Kokrajhar at par capital station. As the Bodo language is the widely spoken language within the jurisdiction of AR Kokrajhar, it will be very beneficial for the listeners if a branch of news unit is established under the regional news unit AR Guwahati for broadcast of news items in Bodo. This will help the Bodo knowing people in better understanding of circulated information and news items. So I urge upon the Minister of Information and Broadcasting to take measures for upgradation of AR Kokrajhar at par with AR Guwahati and establishment of a branch of news unit at AR Kokrajhar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. माननीय नीरज डांगी जी.
धन्यवाद उपसभापति महोदय. जल जीवन मिशन के तहत केंद्र सरकार द्वारा सभी मल्टी विलेज स्कीम के कार्य आदेश जारी करने की समय सीमा 30 सितंबर 2022 तक बढ़ाई गई है, बशर्ते ये कार्य 2024 तक पूर्ण कर लिए जाएं. राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा वर्तमान में लगभग 45 लाख फिजिबल हाउस टैप कनेक्शन FHTC के कार्यादेश दिया जाना शेष है, जिनमें से 31 लाख FHTC 49 सतही स्रोतों पर आधारित परियोजनाओं से उपलब्ध कराए जाएंगे. इन 49 परियोजनाओं में से 26 परियोजनाओं में प्रत्येक की लागत रुपए 300 करोड़ से अधिक है. इनमें परवन अकावद परियोजना, नर्मदा आधारित राजस्थान ग्रामीण जल आपूर्ति और फ्लोरोसिस शमन परियोजनाएं, चंबल आधारित परियोजना, ईसरदा परियोजना, नोनेरा परियोजना जैसी कुछ असाधारण बड़े आकार की परियोजनाएं शामिल हैं. इन परियोजनाओं से 11 जिलों के 5377 गांवों में जल जीवन मिशन का कार्य किया जाना शेष है. ऐसी बड़ी परियोजनाओं के निष्पादन में लगभग 3 से 4 वर्ष लगते हैं. कोविड-19 महामारी एवं रूस और यूक्रेन के बीच युद्ध के परिणाम स्वरूप कच्चे माल की कीमतों में वृद्धि, उपकरणों की आपूर्ति में कमी और अन्य कारणों से मिशन के तहत कार्यों की प्रगति धीमी हो गई है. माननीय मुख्यमंत्री राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा माननीय प्रधानमंत्री महोदय एवं जल शक्ति मंत्रालय भारत सरकार से अप्रैल 2022 से लगातार वर्तमान जल जीवन मिशन की अवधि बढ़ाए जाने का अनुरोध किया जा रहा है. अतः माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, आपके माध्यम से भारत सरकार से निवेदन है कि वर्तमान जल जीवन मिशन की कार्य अवधि सीमा 31 मार्च 2024 को बढ़ाकर 31 मार्च 2026 तक किया जाए. धन्यवाद.
माननीय श्री मानस रंजन मंगराज, एब्सेंट. माननीय श्री अभी रंजन विश्वास.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my subject is need to address increasing malnutrition in the country. Sir, in 2019 to 21, between 2019 to 21, 35.5% of kids below the age of 5 years were stunted and 32.1% were underweight. India positions 116th out of 174 countries on the Human Capital Index. Lack of venture in health and education makes economic growth slow. In Ministry of Women and Child Development, the Ministry of Women and Child Development has clubbed all the schemes which include Integrated Child Development Services, that is ICDS, Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, PMMVY, and the National Creche Scheme. But the budgetary allocation for Saksham, Anganwadi and Pushan schemes is only 0.5% of the total budget, most deplorably, sir. India ranks 101 out of 116 countries in the Global Hunger Index of 2021. According to NFHS, that is National Family Health and Welfare Services data, 5 that is, the rural population of stunted children in India is 37% and urban areas it is 30%. The NFHS 5 survey indicates that more than 57% of women and over 67% of children suffer from anemia. Therefore, there is a need to tackle these issues for mothers and children for holistic development of children during and after the pregnancy, hence reduce stunting with special emphasis on the marginalized. I urge the government to look into the matter urgently as the issue of malnutrition is waiting to become an impending doom. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable members, the House stands adjourned to meet at 11 hours on Thursday, the 9th February 2023.